You open your eyes long before the first light touches the palace walls of Persepolis. The air is cold, still, and heavy with the quiet of a kingdom that has not yet awakened. For a few seconds, you lie motionless, listening to your own breath. Because once you rise, your day becomes a tightrope walk between duty, fear, and the possibility of sudden execution. You are not a noble, not a warrior, not even a court entertainer. You are something far more vulnerable. You are the royal cook of the Achaemenid Empire, guardian of the king's meals, master of flavors, and prisoner of perfection. Your day begins in darkness because the kitchen fires must be lit long before the king even considers his morning meal. As you step into the great royal kitchen, the shadows stretch around the bronze pots and towering shelves. Servants hurry past you, heads lowered, carrying sacks of grain, amphora of wine, and baskets of fruits imported from distant provinces. You breathe in deeply, and the scent of spices hits you. Cardamom from India, cinnamon from Arabia, saffron from Persia itself, each worth more than your yearly wages. One grain lost, one jar damaged, and suspicion instantly falls on you. You stand at the center of this chaos, the orchestrator of a symphony that must never go wrong. Because in the Achaemenid court, food is just not nourishment. It is politics, power, and paranoia. The king trusts almost no one. He trusts his guards, his generals, his advisors. But he never trusts his meals. The last man who served him incorrectly seasoned stew was never seen again. Some say he was executed. Others say he was simply dismissed, which, in the Persian court, often meant the same thing. You begin the morning preparations with ritual precision. Every grain of barley is washed 3 times. Every vegetable is peeled by hand. Every knife is polished until it glints like a soldier's blade. You shout orders to your assistants, trying to maintain order in the midst of the smoke, the clanging pots, and the roaring fires. The heat is already unbearable, sweat forming on your forehead, dripping down your spine, and the sun hasn't even risen yet. Your first task is ensuring that every ingredient is safe. Poison is the unseen enemy of the Persian court. Rivals, rebels, traitors, anyone might try to kill the king through his food. You lift a jar of pomegranate syrup and turn it into your hands. You inspect it for tampering, then you taste it yourself, letting the liquid run over your tongue. Every time you taste something, your heart tightens with fear. Is this the sip that ends your life? Is this the moment everything goes black? Your assistants watch you carefully, not out of concern, but out of terror, because if you collapse, they know they might be next. You survive the tasting, this time. As the firelight grows, the palace itself begins to awaken. Guards march through the halls, their sandals thudding against polished floors. The echo reaches you even in the kitchen. You know what that means. The king is stirring. The pressure increases. Servants rush to prepare the royal table. Golden plates, silver goblets, embroidered linens, nothing less than perfection is allowed. And perfection begins with your food. You begin preparing the king's breakfast, a simple meal, at least by royal standards. But even simple dishes come with deadly expectations. You chop herbs with swift precision, grind spices with rhythmic patience, and stir pots with a steady hand. Every movement is deliberate. Every sound matters. Every mistake is fatal. As you cook, your thoughts wander to the cooks who came before you. Some lasted months, a few lasted years, and many lasted only days. A single complaint from the king could mean your execution. Too much salt, a serious offense. Too little, equally dangerous. A burnt crust, unthinkable. A strange flavor, treason. A servant approaches you, trembling. The food inspector is here. Your pulse speeds up. Of all the people in the palace, the food inspector is the one you fear most. He answers directly to the king. He trusts no one. He watches every movement with hawk-like precision, searching for any hint of error or disobedience. He steps into the kitchen with slow, calculating strides, his robes dark and immaculate. His eyes sweep across the counters, the ingredients, the simmering pots. "What is this?" he asks, pointing to your mixture of herbs and crushed nuts. "A seasoning for the king's bread, my lord," you say, keeping your voice steady. He leans in, sniffing it. His expression gives nothing away. Then he dips a finger, tastes it, and closes his eyes. Your entire body stiffens. If he dislikes it, you are done. If he senses something suspicious, you are dead. Finally, he nods. Acceptable. You exhale quietly. One battle survived, many more to come. As the day unfolds, the demands increase. The royal kitchen becomes an inferno of heat, smoking, shouting, and clattering. You command dozens of assistants, each trembling, each terrified, each praying you don't blame them for something. The hierarchy is strict. You at the top, then the spice master, the butchers, the bakers, the water carriers, the firekeepers. Each role essential, each role dangerous, because if one person fails, everyone fails, and everyone risks death. The king sends a message through his messenger. He desires lamb with saffron and pomegranate glaze for a midday meal. You bow your head, it shall be prepared. You know this dish well, you've made it countless times, but that doesn't make it any less frightening. You select the lamb carefully. If it's too tough, you're blamed. Too fatty, you're blamed. Too red in color, suspicious. The saffron must be ground slowly, evenly, with perfect texture. The pomegranate glaze must be balanced between sweet and sharp. As you cook, you feel the weight of history pressing on you. Countless cooks who stood exactly where you stand now, sweating over the same fears. When the dish is done, you taste it. Then another taster tastes it. Then the food inspector tastes it again. Your nerves are shattered by the time it leaves the kitchen. You do not know if the king will enjoy it. You do not know if he will praise your skill or call you for execution. You simply wait. And waiting, you've learned, is its own torture. Hours pass. No messenger arrives to summon or condemn you. A small relief. But the day is far from over. The heat intensifies as afternoon turns to evening. Flames roar beneath pots the size of bathtubs. Spices fill the air with a thick, intoxicating aroma. Your hands ache from chopping. Your feet burn from standing. Your shoulders scream with pain from hours of lifting heavy vessels. But there is no rest. Rest is for ordinary men. You serve the King of Kings. The kitchens of Persepolis are vast, decorated with bronze racks and long tables. Yet the air always feels suffocating. Not because of the heat, but because of the constant, never-ending fear that clings to your skin like sweat. You remember the time a foreign ambassador gifted rare honey cakes to the king. The cakes were poisoned. The cupbearer tasted them first and died within minutes. The foreign delegation was executed, but so was the cook who allowed the cakes to enter the kitchen. His only crime? Failing to anticipate treachery. The memory haunts you still. Even worse are the internal politics. The court is filled with rivals who would gladly sabotage you to rise in favor. One misplaced spice, one missing ingredient, one false rumor, and your life becomes a shadow on the wall. By the time evening arrives, you are exhausted beyond words. But the most important meal of the day is yet to come, the royal banquet. Nobles, generals, ambassadors, and guests will gather. Their eyes will judge not just the king's table, but your skill, your artistry, your precision. A single failure in front of such an audience would not only embarrass the king, it would shame the empire, and shame demands blood. You prepare dozens of dishes: roasted duck with almond paste, honeyed dates stuffed with pistachio, bread baked on hot stones, fragrant rice cooked with saffron and herbs. You move with mechanical precision, your mind sharpened by fear and habit. You taste, adjust, taste again. Every flavor must sing, every plate must impress. The moment of truth arrives when the servants carry the dishes away. Your body trembles. You lean against the counter, lightheaded, exhausted. You have given everything you have, and yet your fate hangs on a single opinion. Minutes crawl by like hours. Then a servant returns. You brace yourself. The king is pleased, he says simply. You feel your knees weaken. A breath escapes you. Long, trembling, full of relief. You have survived another day in the deadliest kitchen in history. But you know the truth. You know tomorrow will bring the same terror, the same pressure, the same risk of poison, failure, or death. This job is not honor, it is torment. A life lived on the edge of a blade, where perfection is the only shield against execution. And as you clean your hands, wipe the sweat from your face, and watch the fires die down one by one, you understand the brutal truth. Being a Persian royal cook doesn't just suck, it is a curse wrapped in gold. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most dangerous jobs in ancient Iran, watch the episode Why It Sucks to Be a Persian Cupbearer.